Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dakota here, back at it again with another video. I know it's been a super long time since I last uploaded. I think my last update or last video that I uploaded was my 1 year and 3 months on testosterone update video. So a lot has changed since then, obviously. So speaking of the obvious, today I'm going to be going over my 1 month post-op top surgery. Kind of a general overview. I also let you guys ask me questions on my Instagram, so I'm going to be answering your questions today. So today it's just going to kind of be going over like a 1 month overview and then like an FAQ or like a Q&A kind of thing for my top surgery. So for anyone who is new here, hi, my name is Dakota Aspen. I am 19 years old. I'll be 20 in September. Let's see, I am female to male transgender. I've been on testosterone for 1 year and 8 months, I think. My 2 year mark is in October, and I am 1 month and 2 or 3 weeks post-op top surgery. I went to Dr. Alan Doolin in Plano, Texas for my top surgery. I paid out of pocket, which means I did not use insurance, and the total cost was $6,750. Let's just get that short little introduction out of the way for anybody who's new here. All right, so the first question is, did you experience post-op depression? Yes, I did. Not because I was depressed that I had surgery or depressed that I had scars or anything like that. When I was pre-op, I was worried that I was going to become depressed because of my scars, or I was going to get depressed because my chest doesn't look like a cis guy's chest. But really the only post-op depression that I had because I couldn't work out, and I still can't really work out. So I got really depressed because I felt lazy. I felt like I wasn't doing anything, which I wasn't, and I wasn't supposed to. But for someone who is so used to being out and being active and being in the gym 4 to 5 days a week, you know, lying on a recliner for a month is not fun at all. So I was depressed because I wasn't being as active as I was used to. So my body was just crazy. It felt like I was so lazy. It felt like I was losing, 100 pounds a day, which isn't true, obviously. I think I only lost like 6 pounds from surgery. But it was still depressing to see kind of the muscle like melt off, and like I still have a pretty good amount of muscle left, but it was still just depressing kind of watching my muscles atrophy and watching all the hard work that I did prior to surgery like melt away a little bit. Obviously my chest still has a good amount of muscle, but it's going to be a lot of work to work my way back up to the weight that I was pushing, and work my way back up to the physique that I had prior to surgery. I was also a little bit depressed because I had to stop testosterone prior and after surgery. So my surgeon, Dr. Doolin, he requires that you do not do your shot or take testosterone, however you do it, 2 weeks leading up to surgery and then 1 week after surgery. I don't know if that's for everybody, but for me, I had to wait a week after surgery just because I didn't have refills of my testosterone. So I couldn't do my shot anyway because I didn't have the testosterone that I needed to do my shot. So I did have to wait 2 weeks before surgery and then 1 week after surgery to do my shot again. So my hormones were all out of whack and I was just a blubbery mess, and it was just not a fun time. Second question. Did you have stitches that had to be removed? So my surgeon used stitches. I'm not sure if they were dissolvable or like what you would call them, but basically, especially the stitches around my nipples, sometimes I would look down and there would be like a little stitch poking out. Basically, they would just poke out themselves, and either they would fall out by themselves or I could just like pull them out, like they would just pop off basically. So they either dissolve by themselves or I would just pop them out super quick. It wasn't very involved on my end. I didn't have to get any extra stitches removed at any post-op appointments or anything like that. It was all pretty much done by my body while I was healing. Do my nipples make you insecure, and do you have a favorite nipple? No, my nipples don't make me insecure because I was able to talk to Dr. Doolin about my nipple size and placement and kind of how I wanted my overall chest to look. And I was like, this is what I want. Here's what I want my nipples to look like. I told him I wanted my nipples to be nickel-sized, and I think I got a pretty good nickel-sized nipple. But my nipples don't make me insecure, and yes, I do have a favorite nipple. It is my right nipple. nipple because this one is already, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this one is already like popping out, and it looks like almost like perfect. And then my left nipple is a little wonky. He still hasn't healed all the way yet, but you can probably see it. There's a little like divot in the middle, like kind of a crater looking thing, and that hasn't healed yet. So I call this nipple my pirate nipple because usually it has a cover on it, so it looks like I'm wearing an eye patch across just the one nipple. Someone asked, what was the hardest part before and after surgery, and how is your range of motion? So my range of motion is pretty much all the way back. I can lift my arms up here, I can lift them above my head like this, I can go behind my back like this. I can pretty much do anything that I used to be able to. I just can't lift a lot of weight yet. That's probably the hardest part for me personally, is because the gym became such an integrated part of my life prior to surgery that now that I can't work out, or I'm not supposed to work out or lift heavy weight for at least 2 more weeks, it makes me really sad because like I feel like I'm just being super lazy and I'm not doing enough, to take care of myself. I have been going on runs and bike rides to keep cardio in my life, but it's still, that's probably the hardest part. I got quite a few questions about what my scar care routine is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go over that super quickly for you guys. When I first got the steri tape off, I was given this cocoa butter formula from a friend who had a surgery. I got this from a friend who had surgery on her knees a while ago, and she said that it did wonders for her scars. So I take this and I massage it into my scars daily, either once or twice a day, depending on if I remember or what I'm feeling like. Either way, I do it 5 minutes on each side, and then once this is all absorbed into my scars, I bought this little massage roller thingy off of Amazon for like $8, I think, and I take it and I literally do the same thing. I just roll it over my scars really gently for 5 minutes on each side, just to keep the blood flowing and to kind of lessen the raising of the scars, so it flattens the scars out and it lessens the reddening, and then this just keeps them moisturized throughout the day. So I did that for a few days, and then I found out about scar tape. So that's what I'm wearing on my scars right now, is scar tape, or scar sheets, whatever you want to call them. So I got these off of Amazon again for $14, I think. I got the long ones because they have long and then they have like short. So this is what they look like straight out of the box. Like that's what they look like. They're just silicone scar strips. They're beige colored, and as you can tell, like they're pretty thick. So I take them out of the box and I cut it in half. And then once I cut it in half, I literally just lay it across my scars like this, like you can see. But if you're like me, testosterone has made you super sweaty, so they don't stick very well. They will start to peel off after like 2 or 3 days. If that happens, you can actually take these off. They're reusable. You can take them off and you're supposed to wash them with like unscented laundry detergent or something. I just use my body wash in the shower and I scrub all the sticky, nasty stuff that got stuck to the silicone on the underside. I scrub all that off in the shower, let them dry, and then stick them back on, and they last for another 2 or 3 days. I've noticed if I don't massage for a day or two, then my scars get really hard and really thick. I don't know how to explain it other than like they feel thick. I don't know how to explain it properly, but that's just how it is to me. All right, this next question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did it hurt? And do you have any feeling or sensation in your chest now? So addressing the first part, top surgery really didn't hurt for me at all. A lot of guys that I talked to said that it hurt really bad or that they were really sore. That wasn't the case for me. I don't know if it was because I didn't have drains and most of the guys that I talked to did have drains, but it seems to me like everyone who says top surgery hurts says that because their drains hurt them. Dr. Dulin doesn't use drains, so I was literally just wrapped in my binder and my compression shirt for a month, and then after that I was like, boom, like done. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say top surgery maybe was like maybe a 4 or a 5. It really wasn't bad, especially because he gave me some really strong pain meds, and I took those for like 2 days, and then after that I didn't need them anymore, so I just took Tylenol. Top surgery didn't really hurt very bad. It was mainly when I would go to like push myself up, or I would go and like reach for something. That's when it would hurt because I would feel my incisions pull, and I always got so scared that I like popped a stitch or like fucked up somehow. But you know, it's just, you just have to listen to your body. and know your own limits, you know? So it didn't really hurt that bad. As far as sensation in my chest goes, it's kind of hard to explain. So like if I'm poking my chest like this, I can feel it. Like I can feel it in my muscle, I can feel it up here, and I can feel it down here. Kind of around my nipple and incision is where it's not numb anymore, but it kind of feels like plastic wrap or like cellophane and wrapped it around your chest a few times, and then someone was like pushing on your chest. Like you can feel it, but it's kind of muffled, if that makes sense. Especially with my nipples. Like I can touch my nipple and like I know that I'm touching my nipple, but I don't feel it really. Like up here is where I can feel sensation, and then around my nipples and my incisions, I'm still pretty numb. I don't have a lot of feeling on my chest. But you know, I'm not super worried about it. Like I said, it'll come with time, so. What's the best method of top surgery for larger chested people, or do I have to still have, or is there an option for me to not have drains if I have a larger chest? I don't know. That is definitely something that you should Google or talk to a surgeon that you're considering going to get their opinion on it. I think right before surgery I was maybe very small B or a larger A. I don't know for sure. But most surgeons will recommend that people with larger chests get double incision just because it's a safer option and your results are more guaranteed. But again, that's something that you should ask your surgeon or Google, because I don't know. I really don't. Some surgeons use drains no matter what. Some surgeons don't use drains no matter what. It's all personal preference based on their practice. It took me a long time to decide on the surgeon that I wanted to go to, mainly because when I first started looking into top surgery, I was dead set on getting peri or keyhole. I did not want double incision. I did not want the scars. I did not want to be outed every time someone looked at my chest. That was my biggest fear after double incision, was that if someone saw my chest, they would immediately know that it was because I had top surgery because I was trans. And it took a few months for me to realize that no one fucking knows what top surgery scars look like. Like, there are a few people who know because they're educated, but most of the people in the world are gonna look at me and be like, wow, that guy has some pretty big scars on his chest, and then move on, you know? Like, no one's gonna sit there and be like,
wow, that guy has massive scars on his chest, I wonder what they're from.
you know, like no one's gonna do that. So once I came to terms with that, and once I came to terms with the fact that I was scared at being outed and not scared of the surgery itself, it was super easy for me to pick Dulin because A, he was literally only like 30 minutes away from me. B, he was the cheapest guy that I saw at only $6,750 as his baseline price. Most surgeons in Texas, specifically the guy that I was looking to go to in Austin, his baseline price was like $8,000 something. So it's a $2,000 difference. So I picked Dulin, and I do not regret it. His team is absolutely incredible. They're super nice, they're super helpful and informative. They have a 24-hour helpline if you have questions or emergencies while you're recovering. Overall, it was just a 10 out of 10 experience. Like, I cannot recommend Dr. Dulin in Plano enough. And then I think the last question that I'm gonna answer today is, how do you feel now that you've had top surgery, and did it lessen your dysphoria any? I feel incredible. I literally never wear a shirt anymore if I don't have to. I feel free. It's kind of a weird sensation. I never really believed in gender euphoria until I got top surgery. Like, looking at myself in the mirror now, I'm like mind blown every time. I don't think it'll ever get old, like looking at myself in the mirror, because it's like, this is what I was always supposed to look like, you know? Like, this is how I saw myself for 18 years, and now it's like actualized. Like, people see me like this now too, and I think that's like super crazy. Thank you guys for all your questions. I know this was a lot of rambling. If you have any more specific things that I didn't answer in this video, please comment them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are looking forward to more content in the future. That's pretty much all I have to say, so I will see you guys next time.